Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Lonely Satellite with your host, Beat After Beat. Thank you for coming in. Another lonely satellite. Welcome, welcome. Peace and blessings. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. "83 rocking degrees here in the Motor City. 83 rocking degrees in the Motor City. Partly sunny. Good to see everyone. Thank you for showing up. Another session in loneliness. And I have about 5 topics of loneliness for you guys this evening, along with a few presentations. That's right. So grab yourself a soda, relax, and relax, because this is what this show is about: relaxing and reminiscing on how our lives are running on the daily, and how we can change things each day to better improve ourselves. So with the help of Michael, I asked him for permission to use a few of his presentations or his videos, and he said go for it. You're more than welcome. You can find his link in the chat. You can go over there to our everyday lives. Fawn, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. So check out our everyday lives with Michael, and I have 3 new videos regarding loneliness or being alone from Michael, from his channel. Go check him out. I'm sorry, Fawn. Yeah, well, I know maybe it's the weather. It's 83 degrees here in Southeast Michigan. TWP, much love to you. Hope you, where did you go on your road trip, TW? Where did you go on your road trip? Did you have fun? I hope you had a nice time wherever you are or went, TWP. Many blessings to you. You can find our everyday lives in the chat. Go check him out. His name is Michael. We'll be doing a somewhat long presentation this evening on being alone. So check him out. How's the audio? How's the visual? That's right, Beat After Beat is in HD and in stereo. So call your local cable provider for more details on how you can check out Beat After Beat in HD and stereo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. everyone's having a pleasant evening. It is hot up here in 70 or it's 83 degrees here in southeast Michigan. And went ahead and ordered a few grab bars for the shower, for the bathtub. We got a 16-inch grab bar coming in today. It's got suction cups on it. I'm going to put it in there today. And then I got two little ones, 12 inches for each side of the shower. So I can have something to grab onto when I'm in the shower. And so the 16-inch grab shower grabber is on its way today. Should be here probably 5-10 minutes. So looking forward to that. Us senior citizens need something to hold on to when you get in the shower. And never exciting being alone in the shower, if you know what I mean. So Beat's been taking care of himself. I got multivitamins coming in Monday. I'll be taking my multivitamin. And hopefully I'll feel better, get all the vitamins and everything in my body and get me some energy going on, feel better. But one day at a time, and I am working on my health, believe it or not. And so welcome. So we're going to begin, I guess, the show. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew. Yes, I will be Pepe Le Pew. All right. I know you're watching TWP. I asked you how your road trip was. Where did you go? Can somebody respond, please? All right, so let's begin. The loneliness remedy. The loneliness remedy. Andrea Matthews, LPC, NCC. In one of the loneliest of years, we need to explore loneliness. 2020 has been one of the world's most lonely years. During the various lockdowns, we have been isolated in our homes. And even after the lockdowns were over, many of us chose to stay safe from the virus at home. I've discovered that introverts are coping with this isolation much better than extroverts, but even the introverts are suffering some loneliness during this time. So this is an excellent time to really begin to explore, to face, and to find a remedy for our loneliness. But first we need to take a look at some of the mythology surrounding this idea of loneliness. The first of these myths is the myth that being alone means you are lonely. This is utterly false. It is absolutely possible to spend long periods of time alone even periods of deliberate solitude without feeling lonely. The second, and one of the most debilitating myths, is that we must learn how to be popular and loved by everyone in order to avoid loneliness. This myth is debilitating because if we find that we are not popular or loved by everyone, we self-flagellate in all manner of self-abuse, self-talk that makes us feel very unworthy and can be dangerously depressive. And the third most popular myth is based on, and if only I had friends, then I'd be okay. If only I could find a partner, then I'd be okay. If only I were a better person, then I'd have friends and find a partner, and then I'd be okay. Each of all these if onlys are based on the idea that I can only be okay if I have friends, have a partner, or become a better person. Of course, it must be said that we all need emotional support. We all need a solid, if small group of supporters. But that last, if only, gets the cart before the horse. For you see, the remedy for loneliness is not found in other people. I know, that is intuitive, but it is also true. The remedy for loneliness is the company of self. That comes first. The support group comes after that. In fact, many of us will tolerate abusive and toxic relationships for long periods of time just because we are afraid to be lonely. We fear loneliness as one of the most painful and distressful of all feelings, and we are all too often willing to do anything, even distort our true personalities, in order to gain even the most insincere forms of support so that we can tell ourselves that we are not alone, not lonely. But we will eventually reach a time when we have to admit that even in the crowds of parties and laughter, we were still lonely. Why? Because there is no real relationship with the self. So, what do I mean by a relationship with self? In the earliest stages of our lives, we were being introduced to parents and family. We were intuiting what they expected of us, and since we were simply too vulnerable to say no to these expectations, and in order to avoid the vast emptiness of loneliness, we introjected the projections of our parents and families in order to belong. In that process, we were sacrificing an identification with our own true, authentic self. We left it behind and we became what they needed us to be. So now, as adults, we are still trying to please the people in our lives in the same ways and patterns of behaviors that pleased or didn't please our parents. Often we are doing the same old thing, looking for different results than those we got from our parents. What we don't know is that each time we hit a wall with these patterns of behavior, the authentic self calls us home yet again. We need to feel at home in our own bodies, in our own minds, in our own emotions, and in our own behaviors. And it is that feeling of being at one with body, mind, emotion, and behavior. That feeling is the remedy for loneliness. We need a strong sense of self, a self that is not defined by what others demand or of us or protect onto us, but it is defined by what feels true to the deeper spirit. the deeper soul and self. Once that is established, it is then and only then possible to find others who can relate to that self. Before we find a self, even when we are with others, they do not know us, so how can we truly relate to us? We can only truly belong to others when we belong first to ourselves. The loneliness remedy. Surviving loneliness. How dangerous is loneliness to your health? Although loneliness is something we have to deal with at times, does chronic loneliness lead to serious health risk? A new article published by Health Psychology suggests that might be the case, especially over the long run. A team of researchers at the Ohio State College of Medicine and the National Cancer Institute conducted 2 studies looking at the long-term effects of loneliness on survival. Loneliness, defined as the experience of perceived social isolation, has long been linked to various medical concerns, including heart disease. In terms of relative survival, loneliness appears to be as great a health risk as being obese and inactive. Even when other medical problems are controlled for, the effect of loneliness on health is extreme. The 2 studies focused on the effect of loneliness on the depression, chronic pain, and fatigue symptom cluster found in a wide range of chronic medical conditions. These 3 symptoms are often found together since they are mutually reinforcing and can lower quality of life and long-term survival. According to researchers, lonely people seem especially prone to developing depression, pain, and fatigue over time, based on the middle range theory of unpleasant symptoms. These unpleasant symptoms have a joint impact on long-term health outcomes. In the first study, 115 older adults, average age 56, consisting of 49 cancer survivors and 66 non-cancer controls, were interviewed about 6 months after cancer surgery. They were then interviewed a second time 12 months later. All participants received the same questionnaire examining loneliness, pain, depression, fatigue, and health outcomes. They were also questioned about quality of sleep and amount of aerobic exercises received regularly. As expected, lonelier people had consistently higher levels of depression, pain, and fatigue over a 1-year period. Loneliness also predicted changes over time, with symptoms increasing more rapidly for lonelier people, even when additional factors such as quality of sleep and exercise were taken into account. The relationship between loneliness and depression, fatigue, pain, symptom clusters was still strong. The second study used a sample of 229 older adults, average age 69, consisting of 125 caregivers for a spouse with dementia and 104 non-caregiver older adults. Caregivers were examined since they often show greater distress than non-caregivers living in the community. The people in the study filled out questionnaires during 4 periods separated by 1 year each. While many of the questionnaires were simple to the first study, the people in the second study were also questioned about marital quality. Most of the results were the same as the first study, with loneliness beginning significantly linked to depression, pain, and fatigue. with the symptoms growing stronger over time. Unlike the first study, however, controlling for sleep quality and exercise greatly weakened the relationship between loneliness and the other factors. Lack of aerobic exercise and poor sleep quality appeared to worsen the effects of loneliness. Overall, loneliness appears strongly linked to symptoms such as depression, chronic pain, and fatigue. And this link appears consistent across different samples of older adults. Sleep and aerobic exercise also appear to play a strong role in helping to offset the effect of loneliness on health or in older adults. Pain, depression, and fatigue are commonly found together, with chronic pain being reported by around 46% of adults, with 13 to 27% reporting depression, 30% reporting fatigue, and many people reporting all three at once. How pain, depression, and fatigue are linked to loneliness is still hard to determine. It is possible that lonely people slip into a downward spiral, making the symptoms of pain and depression worse, which in turn makes people more isolated than before. Having a good social support network might also make pain and depression easier to handle, while feeling distressed can make people more isolated. Can helping people reduce their feeling of loneliness reduce the pain and depression? That seems to go with it. While treatment usually focuses on dealing with these symptoms separately, helping people to overcome feelings of loneliness might be an effective way of learning to cope better with pain and depression. Though pain is usually linked to diseases such as arthritis and fatigue, is often a side effect of medical treatments such as chemotherapy for cancer. Dealing with loneliness can make a difference in helping people cope better with chronic illnesses. Recognizing that loneliness can be as serious a problem as pain and depression can be the key to living a healthier life as people grow older. Surviving loneliness. How are you doing? Lorraine, how are you? Moving on, my third segment, loneliness kills. Innovative community approaches to combating loneliness show promise. Living on my own in the kingdom of loneliness for over 3 months has made me more aware of the effects of loneliness on health and well-being. It does not surprise me that the UK now has a Minister of Loneliness, and that Prime Minister Theresa May has recently released a loneliness policy report. A Connected Society, a strategy for tackling loneliness, laying the foundations for change, October 15, 2018. May calls loneliness a great public health challenge and plans to have Great Britain's within the NHS to be able to refer patients to community programs geared to ease loneliness. Yesterday, I visited a long-standing 36 years community cafe in Edinburgh that has been successfully combating loneliness among the elderly and people living with mental health challenges. Located near the Royal Edinburgh Hospital, a long-standing mental health facility in the Morningside area of the city. The Open Door Cafe is a most welcoming place from the high school student volunteer Hamish, who's greeted me and served me a great kupa and scone, to the friendly regular customer patrons who shared their stories with me. This was a place that warmed my heart. It also gives me hope that we can open a community doorway cafe in the University District of Seattle along similar lines. They use a pay it forward model and also have a robust group of volunteers to keep the place sustainable. In addition, they receive some funding from the NHS. It also warms my heart to have discovered that the Open Door Cafe was founded by an Edinburgh nurse, Peggy Hunter, all the way back in 1982, she said. I have a dream to turn loneliness into fellowship, isolation into recognition, and she just done just that. I love their statement on their website in which they describe their cafe championing of diversity. Of course, many people who uses our services have a variety of supported needs. So you may find having a Coupa, CUPPA, is a different experience to that of your usual coffee shop. Can you open your mind to share some space with someone who is different from you? Loneliness kills. We're going to stop there, take a break. That was 3 segments. 6 people in the house. Thank you for showing up. John Hobbs, good to see you, my friend. Oh, let's take a break here. 28 minutes into the show. And we're going over my research and my notes on loneliness. We just recently covered the loneliness remedy, surviving loneliness, and loneliness kills. And we're going to stop right there briefly because I need to catch up to the chat. John Hobbs, I haven't seen you in ages. How are you, my friend? Lauren Direct, how are you, Lauren? Catch up to the chat. Thank you all for showing up. Much love to the fullest. Catching up to the chat. Welcome to Lonely Satellite with your host, BEATAFTERBEAT. Sunday evenings, 5 p.m. Eastern. As I hear the thunderstorm approaching, there's a thunderstorm going on, apparently, outside. Taking a little break, catching up to the chat. We have a few upcoming videos. this evening. Small presentation on alone or loneliness. Dale, it's good to see you. Apparently you're not feeling too well today. But I hope you are feeling well. Catching up to the chat. Links are in the invites are in the chat if you'd like to come up. This is a actually it's required for someone to come up here on the panel for this kind of show. So see, you guys are just having a conversation between each other. Yes, it's always just like me. Yes, story time. Good to see you, Lauren, and thanks for subbing to me. I appreciate that. Thanks for the thumbs up. I know it was you. Lauren's listening. Lauren, did you realize that you are in my featured channel? You're on my featured. You're featured, Lauren. I don't know if you realize that, but you've been featured on my channel for over a year, probably, and you're still up there. Coffee time here, guys. Cheers while listening. John Hobbs, good to see you. Tails is quiet this evening. And we are all caught up with the chat. "34 minutes into the show. And I have a small presentation from our everyday lives. Check out our everyday lives in the chat. I've asked Michael for permission to use his videos in my live stream, my Lonely Satellite stream. And he's all for it. He says, go for it. So we've covered the loneliness remedy, surviving loneliness, and loneliness kills here at Beat After Beat or Lonely Satellite. All right. We are all caught up. And next, we're going to do the presentation from a few of Michael's live streams or Michael's shows over there at Our Everyday Lives. Go check him out. Give him some love over there. So we're going to start. We're going to start with this feeling alone in the storm. Again, this is from the channel Our Everyday Lives with Michael. Go check him out. So here we go.
You might feel alone in the storm of your spiritual awakening, but it's just part of the journey. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. You might feel alone in the storm of your spiritual awakening. It's very overwhelming when you come to realize that you were living in a matrix and none of this was actually real. And, you know, as you tend to peel back the veil more and more, and then you actually realize what's right in front of you. And you say, holy shift. You've shifted. But you might feel alone during this spiritual awakening. And that happens to all of us. You know, you are very blessed, actually. Might not seem like a blessing at first, but you are very blessed to be awake right now. You're blessed to see the truth because ultimately you're going to make it through. And it might feel very uncomfortable right now, but it's almost like you know too much, right? You're like, oh, I know too much. A couple of years ago, I did a video and it was called Warning. There is no turning back. It's a warning. You should heed the warning. Once you wake up, once you see, you can never unsee. And, you know, it can become very scary because, you know, so many in the world might not be awake like you are. And you're able to see things that many are not able to see. And there are different levels and layers to this. Some people, they might see some of the levels and layers, but you're going real deep like I am, Light Warriors. You're going real deep. The sword cuts real deep. And, you know, people might, you know, think that or say that you're crazy or they can't hear you. They don't want to hear you. And you feel alone during your spiritual awakening. It's kind of like being in the storm. Here we are again, Light Warriors. We're in the storm right now. But, you know, there's different levels. There's different activations. And you realize there's so much more to this reality than we were led to believe. But then you start to see everything totally different, you know, and, you know, I'm experiencing that on my journey. You know, like you could be at the same place that you've always been, and all of a sudden everything seems so different. Everything seems, it's like you shifted into a different dimension. And, you know, there's no turning back from this. You can't turn back. So, you know, we have our peaks and valleys, and we have things that throw us off our course, many things that try to distract us, but we keep moving forward no matter what. You need to find something in your life that you could focus like a laser beam on and keep moving forward no matter what. That's what I'm doing while I'm doing this work with all of you. I focus like a laser beam. What do I need to do today? And I take it day by day. And I say, okay, I'm okay on this day, and this is what I need to do, and this is what I need to get done. It's very overwhelming when you go through a spiritual awakening. When you have activations, when you level up, all of a sudden you're like, where am I? All right. So you really want to have an understanding and overstanding that you will go through these time periods. And, the collective is all feeling this right now, and, the energies are very, very heightened. People are looking around in the world saying, what's going on right now? How is this happening? But many, they're not able to see what you're able to see. And, I've lived a life, you've lived a life, and then all of a sudden you have a massive awakening and you can no longer unsee it. You can't unsee it. So you're going to have to start to live a new life on the new earth.
Hello, I'm David Miliband, President and CEO of the International Rescue Committee. Our humanitarian...
We're headed to the new earth, Light Warriors, but you want to get out in nature and you want to ground yourself as best you can. We're all in different locations around the world, and some are more dense than others. And that's why it's very important, especially when you go through these awakenings, when you go through these periods where you're leveling up, that you take the time to ground to nature, allow the negative ions of the planet to course through you, because it's going to help recalibrate yourself. But there's so many changes, and certain things can make you see something that you've never seen before. And then all of a sudden you're living in a new world, in a new reality. And we're always leveling up, we're always shifting, and we always have to remember, as my Nana once said, there's a time for this and a time for that. And sometimes we need time for ourselves. Sometimes we need to switch it up. I've been doing that on my journey, and I've been switching it up in recent times because the energy is different. So when we do this, we start to pull in new energies, and you begin to evolve. You're not going to be the same person today that you were a year ago, several years ago. So remember this on your journey, that it is like waking up into a storm. Just a little drizzle today, Light Warriors, not too bad. But realize this on your journey, because a spiritual awakening, an activation, it might not feel pleasant, and you feel like you're in a new world, and you have to get you have to get your bearings. You have to get your bearings. So I hope that this message is helpful for you. There's a lot going on out there, but I know a lot of people, they feel alone. You feel so alone when you're going through a spiritual awakening, and that's okay. And there's levels and layers to it. It's gonna happen one time. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. So we're constantly evolving, and who knows where we're gonna end up. But know that it's part of the journey. keep moving forward as you're evolving, as you're changing, and in the end, you're going to be something brand new. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. And that's what we're doing. We're growing. We're rapidly growing sometimes. Sometimes, oh, sometimes it's too fast. Slow it down. So I hope this message is helpful for all of you. And remember, there's a lot going on in the world right now, but don't worry about what's going on out there. You know why. We cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that a spiritual awakening can make you feel so alone. Out in a storm. It's a storm. It's a storm. But in the end, you're going to be better. You're going to be able to create something new. You're evolving. This is our evolutionary journey. And even though we feel so alone, we're evolving into something new. And we're going to rise out and be better on the new earth. Take in these vibrations, raise your electromagnetism, and remember, always and forever, the will beats the skill. What are your experiences with a spiritual awakening? Have you had some interesting awakenings and seeing the world through a different lens all of a sudden? See it in a different lens. Share it in the comments. Share this video with others so that others don't feel alone during their awakening process. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. Keep growing. Keep expanding. I love you all. Just ride out the storm. Just ride out the storm. That's all it is. Just ride out the storm. And then we'll be so much better for it in the end. The power of resiliency. We have to create a new earth. It's up to us. Victory of the light.
There you have it. Please leave your comment in the chat and how you feel about what Michael is talking about. Maybe it kind of talks about you. You never know. So that was just one of two presentations going on here at Lonely Satellite. Stop in the chat real quick. I do believe I saw my little brother Gabriel. Okay, good to see everyone here. Lonely Satellite, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Sunday. Good to hear. Good to hear. So leave your comment down below on how you feel about the videos I'm presenting from Michael. I did ask permission, and he is thrilled about it, about me sharing his videos on my Lonely Satellite with you guys. Exactly. 51 minutes into the show, and it is raining here in southeast Michigan, and it's 82 degrees. So we got a couple more presentations from Michael. Don't forget to go over there and subscribe to him, give him some love. He's a new friend I discovered recently, a new friend. Maybe he tries to help me understand a little bit about myself and how I can conquer the feeling of loneliness and arthritis and chronic pain and diabetes and nerve damage. Oh, I'm not alone. You see, I'm not alone. Beat is not alone. Beat's got many, many so-called friends. That's right. And they're not very pleasant company. I don't know if y'all could hear it, but it's really raining outside and it's thundering. So, wow. So, on with presentation 2 by Michael. Hope you're enjoying the program. Yes. Pretty good. Pretty good today. Pretty good. I may have to shut the window. It is lightning outside. That is so weird. I just presented a video about the storm, and look at here at Lonely Satellite. Outside my window, there's literally a thunderstorm going on and heavy rain, and we were just bringing up a video about the storm. So 54 minutes into the show, and we just went over a few things in the beginning. The loneliness remedy, surviving loneliness, and loneliness kills. I may put in a couple more of my notes for you guys at the end of the show. Ride out the storm. It is storming outside my window as we speak. That is very synchronized, synchronicity maybe. Who knows? Something spiritual is going on here at the Lonely Satellite Studio. You hear that? Wow. Thank you all for showing up. We're going to go on and move on to the next presentation from Michael. Riding out the storm. Right out my window. It is really raining. So let's go ahead and begin the next one by Michael. Our Everyday Lives. Go check out Our Everyday Lives. Break free and go alone. The power of being alone.
I am the best there is at what I do. Say it with me, Light Warriors. I am the best there is at what I do. You're going to have to go it alone, Light Warriors. We're going through great changes right now. And you want to create a new life. You want to create a new identity. And you're going to have to go it alone. All assets are going to be deployed against you. You're going to have the fear of being on your own. You're going to have to go up against all the doubters. Do you know all the doubters that you come across in your everyday life? Oh, those are the demons. They give you the whispers and they want you to doubt yourself. And you're going to have to look each and every one of these demons right in the face and let them know, serpents, I'm the best there is at what I do. Hello, everyone. I am Michael, and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. We're going to have to guide ourselves, and we're going to have to guide one another. A lot of you, like myself, we're all going to have great changes take place. You're going to want to have great changes for your everyday life. You're going to accomplish these great changes, these great shifts that you might have never thought was possible. You could look around and say, wow, look at this new life. You're going to be creating these great changes, and everyone might doubt you. But as I told you a long time ago, dear ones, you will have to have the inexhaustible belief in yourself. You're going to have the inexhaustible belief in yourself. And people might doubt you. Friends and family might doubt you. Heck, there might be a whole programming out on the television. Say, oh, you better comply to everything that we want you to do. Otherwise, you won't be able to make it without all of us, right? Now, you're going to have to go it alone, kid. That's what I did on my journey. I went alone. And you could write this in the comments. It's time to go it alone. Because you're the creator of your reality. You have a vision. Well, you are the one that's going to have to put it into action. You're going to have radical action in order to create the reality that you want to experience. And on my journey, we had the trials, we had the tribulations, but I just keep going. And because of this, I was able to create a whole new timeline. And that's what we're all doing. We're out here, we're looking all around. You say, look at my life. It's changed so much. And you could probably never imagine that it would change so much. But you're able to accomplish this on your own. It's time to go it alone. You've been relying on a system. You've been relying on the whispers. Yeah, the people that whisper in your ear and they say, you can't do this, kid. Look them and let them know I really don't give a shift. Because you are the one that's going to be creating this new reality. Regret is worse than failure. I told you that a long time ago. Regret is worse.
So there's this 80-year-old dude I discovered who claims he's able to download information like Neo in the Matrix and develop all
than failure. You could look back on your life and you know what hell is? Is leaving this life and seeing the version of yourself that did everything that you you thought you could accomplish, but you never did. You don't want to meet that version. You don't want to meet that version in the afterlife. You got one shot at this life. You got one crack at this journey, and you better make the most with what God gave you. Make the most with what God gave you. My old man taught me you could accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And the society that we live in right now, it gets us to doubt ourselves and bow down to false idols, systems, right, that think they hold power over us. They hold no power. The power is inside of you. Realize this. We're in the light of Christ, here to resurrect our everyday lives and create a brand new timeline. We're out here in nature, taking it in. It's a new life, Light Warriors. It's a new life. And you are going to have the inexhaustible belief in yourself at this time. You want to create a new life? You want to create a new identity? You want to have a brand new experience? You're going to have to accomplish these things on your own. Ain't no one going to hold your hand for you, kid. Ain't no one going to hold your hand. Heck, people might try to sabotage your journey. But that's why I could stand here today and I could look this camera, I could look each and every person in the eye and said, I did it alone. Tesla said, be alone. That's where ideas are born. A lot of us on our journey, we're part of these systems, and we think we can't live without these systems, but we're here to do it alone because we are the best there is at what we do. And each and every one of us are going to embrace this. Each and every one of us are going to have the inexhaustible belief in ourselves. And then one day you wake up. You could even be sleeping on the floor, Light Warriors. And one day you could wake up and then all of a sudden it hits you and you realize, I did it all. And I did it all by myself. My mother taught me this when I was a boy. And she said, son, don't rely on anyone else. Only rely on yourself. And the journey, the past year, the past few months, it hasn't been easy. I had to call forth abilities I never knew that I actually had. And here I am, creating great change. Our community is a beautiful change, and we keep passing it forward. If this message is resonating with you, keep passing it forward and sharing it forward and keep moving forward and have the inexhaustible belief in yourself, because ain't no one going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it for yourself. And this journey has just begun. This journey has just begun. And you ain't seen nothing yet. But we have to pull from deep within the DNA. And those dormant abilities, they're going to be shining. They're going to be shining like the light of Christ. You better believe it, Light Warriors. They're going to be shining like the light of Christ during this time period. And people, you're leaving the breadcrumbs. You're leaving a real life example. And people are going to look at you and they're going to say, wow, he did it without the matrix. She did it without the matrix. And then there's going to be people, they're going to try to pull you back down into that pit. And you're going to say, not today, serpents. Write it down in the chat. Not today, serpents. Ain't nothing going to bring you down. We're just going to keep rising up. And we are ascending to the 5th dimension. Feel the vibrations, Light Warriors. Feel them all. But you will have to embrace this by realizing that the true power lies inside of you. It doesn't lie outside. It doesn't lie outside with the false idols. It doesn't lie outside on the TV. I saw it on TV. TV. No, the TV ain't going to do it for you. Now get up and throw the TV out the window. Yeah, get rid of the TV. Yeah, millions of people are turning off TV and turning on YouTube, because you will be the decider of what you actually want to consume. And each and every one of you that is getting this transmission right now, in the future, you will be making your own transmissions. And we keep moving forward, and we keep moving forward, and no one will ever be able to stop this. We are all becoming the change that we want to see in the world. You want to see change in the world, you will have to become the change that you want to see in the world. And I had to sit with this, and I had to sit with this night after night, and I had to say to myself, I can't live in the fear anymore. I have to keep moving forward. A lot of us want to stick with what's familiar and comfortable, but sometimes what is familiar and comfortable, heck, we were living in a prison our entire lives. Sometimes you might be living in a job, you say, oh wow, this is the greatest job I've ever had because I have the safety and security. But all along, you had the shackles on, right? The golden handcuffs, if you will. And now we're leaving these prisons and we're going out into the world and we're becoming creators. We're not part of the hive mind. We are the creators. And we all have to become the change that we want to see.
My new book, Keyboard Rich, How Anyone Can Earn 6 Figures from Home with a Simple Book
In the world. We're not victims. Victims no more. We're rising up and we're all becoming this change. So grab it now, Light Warriors. Grab it now. The opportunity is here this year. This is the year, the 7th, to make the change and do it now. And don't look back and keep moving forward. And don't fall into the pitfalls, the traps of self-doubt, of fear, of guilt, or shame. Rise up. It's time, Light Warriors, for you to embrace the person that you came here to be. So it is. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people. And please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. I'm the best there is at what I do. Time after time on my journey, people gave me the doubt. Oh, you're going to do this YouTube channel. Oh, you're going to do this. And time after time, I succeed. I never fall into the fear, and I just keep moving forward. If the message resonates with you, why don't you take the journey with us? Because this journey has just begun, Light Warriors. Oh, we're the 144,000 and beyond Light Warriors. We're the warriors of the rainbow, and we're here to change this world. We all have to be the pioneers. So our family, so our brothers and sisters will look at us and say, wow, I can do this as well. You're the lighthouse, right? Be the lighthouse during this time period. Be the lighthouse, because people are going to look at you. They're going to look at what you're doing, and they're going to say, I can do this as well. The 100th monkey effect. I'm the 100th monkey. Yeah, we're the 100th monkey, and we're causing the change. And all of a sudden, everyone else is going to see the change, and then they're going to want the change. And the dominoes start falling down, and then absolutely nothing can stop this, Light Warriors. Nothing will stop this. You don't want this. The journey has just begun. We go through our peaks and valleys. We're coming out on top, and nothing's going to stop this. We find the motivation at the precipice. And the message is for you. Start making the changes before you even get to the precipice. Start making the changes today. There's going to be one day in your life. Just say, screw it. I'm going to do it today. I leave this message for all of you. Do the change today, whatever it is. You have the courage, the lions. I know the lions are here. Are the lions? Let me know in the comments if the lions are here. And flood this video with comments and share this video so others will find the motivation to make the changes that they want to see in the world. You have to do it today. Start doing it today. Stop waiting for others. Stop waiting for false idols. Stop waiting for people that will never come. Because all along, Light Warriors, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. Christ is within the DNA. It's time to leave the matrix And it's time to become the person that you came here to be. Remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that the power lies inside of you. Make the changes today. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. We are the 144,000 warriors of the rainbow. It is time to take back control of our everyday lives. Still here, kid. Still going. Never stop and never give in. Just keep going. Leave a comment on this video. What will you do today to make your hopes and dreams come true? Your aspirations. It's your life. Stop waiting for death. So many people are waiting for death. Escape the matrix. This prison, a prison of the mind. Escape the matrix today. The fifth dimension is waiting for you. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. So it is.
There you have it. That was video 2 by Michael. Hope you guys got something out of it, some inspiration. We all need it these days. Thank you, Michael, over there at Our Everyday Lives, for allowing me to have permission to share your wonderful videos with my audience. Much love to the fullest. All praises to the Most High, Michael. Gabriel, how was your day today? Now we're 13 minutes into the show. Still raining and lightning outside here on this Sunday evening. Got one more presentation from Our Everyday Lives. One more presentation this evening. House. Oh, we have thunderstorms, as you can hear, and lightning and heavy rain here in southeast Michigan. And I know you're probably irritable, so I'll leave you alone on that. Presentation number 3 from Our Everyday Lives from Michael, coming right up.
Hey, Light Warriors. I'm out here in a familiar place, spending time with myself and with God, reflecting on the journey. And I'm out here to tell each and every one of you that you're going to have to be strong, and you're going to have a very strong relationship with yourself. As we go through the end days, we have to fortify this relationship, the relationship with ourself and with God, and realize as you're serving in these final days, you are not alone. Hello, everyone. I am Michael, and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. It's good to be here at one of the staples for this channel. When I started this channel, this was a very familiar place, and I've shared with you several times. Sometimes you got to get back to the basics. Yeah, you could write it in the comments. It's time to get back to the basics, and that's what we need to do. We have to get back to the basics as we are now in the end days. We have to get back to the basics, and you're going to have to fortify the relationship you have with yourself and the relationship that you have with God. On my journey, I spend a lot of time. I host Zoom meetings and collaborations, and I attend Zoom meetings as well. And what I have taken from being part of all of these meetings with fellow people that are all awakened, they're sick and tired of bowing down to the cult. They talk about friends and family, fake friends and family that are totally under this mind control spell, and they want nothing to do with it anymore. Each and every one of them, they share that how they have to spend time alone. And I'm out here on the front line of nature to let you understand and overstand that you are not alone. Yeah, you're not alone, because there are many people just like you on your journey. You came here for a divine mission, and you're not here for the nonsense. You're not here to go along with the narrative. And you might not be able to handle people in your energy field any longer. These people that follow the cult, they're under this control. And heck, they might actually try to lower your vibrational frequency if you do not live by their ways. It's time to break free and put yourself first. Put yourself first. And I know it's difficult at this time. You might be getting this message, and each and every one of you, you might have a different journey and a different experience. People are losing their parents. People are losing their children. People are losing their husband or wife. People are losing their girlfriend or boyfriend. People are losing their friends. People are losing their coworkers, and they can't speak to them.
You're not going to get psychological depth anywhere else in the Hebrew Bible the way in which you get it here in the David story. The David story confronts us with those huge questions of life itself. What is man's relationship to God? What is man's relationship to his fellow man? What is a parent's relationship to their children? We understand all of this when we see David there with the death of his child and knowing he's fully responsible for all of this. It is the horror of each one.
Any longer. Remember, these are the days of the rapture, and they're on a different frequency, and they can't hear you anymore. And it's okay to step away. It's okay to spend time with yourself. It's a biblical time period that we're in. It's a total reset of the reality. It's something that's never been done before. Remember that you're not alone. It's important for you to fortify this relationship that you have, and you might have to spend time alone. You might go to a place that resonates with you. You might break down the matrix, that you send out signals. I haven't been here in a long time. Isn't that divine timing? It's right on cue. Commander is here. But the matrix is collapsing. The matrix is falling right before your very eyes. And all assets could be deployed, all distractions that come in the different forms. The forms of family friends, relationships. You came here for one reason, and that is to move us to this new earth, to get this mission complete. You didn't come here for the basic reality, right? The basic reality. Oh, but everyone does this. Nah, tell them to get out of your way. You actually came here for your personal growth. That's what you came here for. You came here for your personal growth and to do things the way that you want to do them. You know, Frank once said, I did it my way. Yeah, that's what I do on my journey. I do it my way. I get out, I do what I need to do, and I get the work done. And it doesn't matter where I am, I get the work done. It doesn't matter the conditions. It doesn't matter the surroundings. We keep moving forward. As my Nana taught me, there's a time for this and a time for that. And it might be time for you to disconnect from the matrix. It might be time for you to disconnect from family and friends. But I'm out here to make you all understand that as I have dealt with so many people that are awake and that are pulling out of the matrix, they can no longer fit in this matrix any longer. There are many people that are just like you. You are not alone. Even though you might have to spend the time alone. You see, I'm out here spending the time alone so I can really bring forth the authentic frequency, because people will try to distract you, right? They'll try to distract you. They'll try to pull you back down. They'll try to gaslight you, light warriors. Remember, it's a satanic cult. Yeah, you could write it in the chat right now. It's just a satanic cult. It's also called the hive mind. And that's why they want the 666 carbon copies. It's time to wake up. Yeah, it's time to wake up. And if you know people on your journey that refuse to wake up, well, maybe it's time to say deuces, see you later. And it's time to move forward, because you're going to have to worry about your everyday life and what brings you happiness. Contributing to the matrix continuing might not be part of your happiness. You might have come here for a totally different reason. And if you're getting this transmission and you've made it to this part of the message, well, heck, that's what you came here to do. You came here to break this matrix apart. You didn't come here to fit in. You say to yourself, heck, why can't I fit in anywhere? Because you came here to stand out. You're the lighthouse, and people are seeing you, and they're seeing you do things that are against the grain. And it's not easy to go against the grain, against the tide, right? You want to swim against the current? It's not so easy. And that's what I had to do on my journey. But guess what, light warriors? I'm still standing. Just like when you're working out, right? If you swim against the current, you build the really big muscles. Yeah, you get really strong. And that's what I've done. And I've become this greatest version of myself. I keep getting stronger and stronger every month that passes, every year that passes. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to have to walk away from it all. And you're going to have to spend time alone. And there might be people, oh, they claim to be spiritual. Oh, I'm so spiritual. You got to remember, kid, you know, demons are spiritual too. You're going to have to see your way through. There's a lot of confusion. There's levels and layers. Oh, they'll try to get you in the traps. Oh, well, you need to refer to this authority. There ain't no authority, kid. God has given you the authority to trample serpents. There is no authority but you. If you're getting the message right now, Michael is here to let you know there is no authority greater than yourself. God has given you this authority, and this authority lies within the DNA structure that's within you. And you will become the person that you came here to be. And you'll find yourself while you're by yourself. Yeah, you'll find yourself when you're by yourself, right? You got to be alone sometimes. Tesla said, be alone. That's where ideas are born. They don't want new ideas. No, they want carbon copies. They want to keep the structure intact. But we are here to glitch the matrix. Write it in the comments. Glitch the matrix. We're all glitching the matrix, and you are finding yourself while you're by yourself. So as I have joined many of these group sessions, I can report across the board that what most people articulate is that they can't fit in anymore, and they just cannot deal with the bullshit anymore. No, they can't pretend anymore. They can't pretend. They can't fit in. They can't deal with the gaslighting, and they can't deal with a world that is no more. It's time to rise up and become the person that you came here to be. So it is. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow. Oh, it's so rapid. Our 5D community. And let me know in the chat, what do you have to do to disconnect? Don't be afraid of disconnecting. You could disconnect from anyone. You could disconnect from anything, because you are actually a creator of this universe. Oh, it's a multiverse.
The first signs of sciatic nerve decay may surprise you. Most people don't know this, but the real reason behind searing sciatic
And each and every one of you have an individualized experience. Walk the path less traveled. And sometimes you'll have to walk it alone. And you'll find this path right now. If you enjoy this, if you enjoy community, you should check out our Patreon. We host Zoom meetings. We all collaborate together. And that's how we do the work, because we all have to be a community, and we're building new communities. But as we go through this process, you cannot be afraid of being alone. You could leave everything behind. You could leave everything behind and find yourself. You know, you're going to learn at the end of this journey that the only thing that mattered was your experiences that you got from life. There's no mistakes technically. Sometimes I say, God, what a mistake. No, there's no mistakes. They're just experiences, and we could teach about these experiences. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful while you go out there, because there's a lot of people, they're going to say, oh, I'm so spiritual. I'm so wonderful. Meanwhile, they're a piece of shit. It's time to embrace the greatest power in the universe, the power of authenticity. It is the pure light, the light of Christ. Tesla said, light is information. Get the information from God. Don't get the information from the cult. Remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that God is counting on you, kid. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. Find us in the 5th dimension. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. I'm the best there is at what I do. It lasts the test of time. You have to keep going. You have to live in authenticity. Never stop, never give in, just keep going. What will you do today? Do it right now. What will you today to disconnect? What will you do to disconnect from the matrix, from the subconscious programs? How will you become? How will you embody the best version of yourself? How will you get your soul's mission underway. We have to get it underway. God's saying, heck, look at all the signs I gave you. You remember the 2 boats in the helicopter? Yeah, the 2 boats in the helicopter already. We actually saw the helicopter, saw the Matrix helicopter. Yeah, we live in a Matrix. Yeah, that's why I come out of nature so you all can see this, right? Oh, yeah. Commander is on the ground. And you will have to focus right now. You have no idea the importance of your existence. You might walk, you might be in your family, right? You might be with your coworkers and you feel, oh, no one sees me. Oh, you have no idea how important you are. You came here to stand out. You didn't come here to fit in. You came here to stand out and believe in yourself. The army is you. An army of one is all that it takes. When you have the belief in yourself, nothing can stop you. That's where the power lies. The power lies inside the Sacred Heart. Share this message. Find the others. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. So it is. Great things were birthed here. We have to continue on with our journey. That's what we need to do. We have to just keep moving forward. And don't fall into the guilt. Don't fall into the shame. Don't be afraid of being alone. When you could be alone, nothing could stop you. Now, I knew a lot of people on my journey. They didn't love themselves. They couldn't be alone. No, they couldn't do it. They didn't have the faith in themselves. They needed the system. They needed all these things. We just need nature. You'll find some friends, right? You'll find some friends. Just floating away. Nature. Find your path. Build your new life. Don't be afraid. Everything is a lesson. I love each and every one of you. You're not alone. Just like you, kid.
Well, there you have it. 3 videos from Michael over there at Everyday Living. Please check them out. He doesn't mind if I show his videos on my channel. So thank you for the support, Michael. Everyone over there at his channel, thanks for the love. Welcome back, Lauren. There you have it, Lonely Satellite. An hour and 34 minutes into the show. I'm gonna probably stop the show tonight. We covered in my research loneliness kills, the loneliness remedy, and surviving loneliness, and a few presentations this evening here at Lonely Satellite. Oh yeah, sometimes, well, it's gonna hurt to leave people behind in your life. It's gonna be painful. But you gotta move forward, like Michael says. You have to move forward. Because Because no one's going to get you to heaven but yourself. No one's going to help you on that journey but yourself. You don't want to go to heaven one day and God says, I never knew you. No, you don't want him to say that. I never knew you. Be friends with God. Talk to him every day. You're never alone with God. He's all around you. And with that, if anybody has any last comments, please present them now, because I'm going to get ready to shut down. Appreciate everyone showing up this evening. Only Satellite, Sunday evenings at 5 p.m. Appreciate the support and the love. And BEATAFTERBEAT is in HD and in stereo. So another epic show by BEATAFTERBEAT. Once again, another epic show, Lonely Satellite. You demanded it, I'm bringing it to you. You can always go back and rewind and check out what Michael has to say, and or what I have to say. But you're not alone. I'm not alone. Loneliness is painful, but we'll get through it. It affects our physical, our mental, on the daily. It's a struggle sometimes. But you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. No one's going to get to the end of the tunnel but us. No one's going to help us through the tunnel to get to the light. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you for spending some time. We'll continue on next week with my notes, maybe a couple of different videos about loneliness or being alone. But big shout out to Michael over there again. Thank you for just allowing me to show your videos. Thank you so much. And y'all be safe. Good night, everyone. This has been a BEATAFTERBEAT presentation in stereo. Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. Much love.